Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend Astrologer and Guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. The ascendant degree is a very important part of astrology, and many times we ignore the degrees of planets, and we also don't take into account what is the ascendant's degree. The ascendant degree defines the delineation of the houses, the division of the houses, and where exactly the planets are placed, whether the planets are able to give good results or not, and the degree also decides whether the yoga is in effect or not in effect. Say for example, we have the ascendant at 25 degrees of Aries. 25 degrees of Aries means if you take 25 degrees of Aries as the center point of the house, which means that 15 degrees before 25 degrees and 15 degrees after the 25 degrees form the first half and the second half of the ascendant or the first house, which means that 10 degrees of Aries to 25 degrees of Aries form the first half, and 25 degrees of Aries to 10 degrees of Taurus form the second half of the same house, the ascendant, which means out of the 30 degrees, 20 degrees of Aries sign lie in the first house, but 10 degrees of Taurus also lie in the first house. So if the planet is placed between 10 degrees of Aries to 10 degrees of Taurus, then you can say it is in the first house. But when you make the chart, the entire sign forms the first house because the houses are divided basis the signs. So how do we know where the planet is placed? Now somebody may say, why don't we use the Bhav Chalit? Because the Bhav Chalit chart tells where the planet is placed exactly in which house. To a certain extent, that is a fair thing. However, the Bhav Chalit doesn't tell us about yogas. The Bhav Chalit does not give us clarity about transits. The Bhav Chalit doesn't give us clarity about aspects. And hence, the ascendant degree is very important for certain calculation at a final level. So I am using this video more to clarify certain things rather to complicate. So the easiest approach even at a novice level is to not go too much into sidereal astrology, tropical astrology, Bhav Chalit and all. Just look at what the ascendant degree is, and basis the ascendant degree, look at 10 degrees before the ascendant degree and 10 degrees after the ascendant degree. Any planet which lies within the first 10 degrees and post 10 degrees of the ascendant degree, taking the ascendant degree at the center, take that planet as strongly placed in the first house itself. If the planet, however, is closer 14 to 15 degrees difference from the ascendant degree, then it is getting closer to the other house, either the house before or after. So here in the specific examples, 25 degrees of Aries is the center point. Then a planet which is at say 11 degrees of Aries is right at the start of the first house, and so it may give some results of the last house of the 12th house also. However, if the planet is at 9 degrees of Taurus, it seems in the chart as in the second house. However, because the ascendant degree is at 25 degrees and the planet is at 9 degrees in Taurus, it is in the Taurus sign, but it is still in the first house. So take the ascendant degree as the critical degree. From there on either side calculate how far the planet is and take that planet as in the first house, though it is in the Aries sign if it's between 10 to 25 degrees, or if it's beyond 25 degrees, or if it's in the 5th or 6th degree of Taurus, take it in the first house or in the ascendant, but to give more results of the Taurus sign. And that's how you should see. This also helps us in calculating yogas. For example, if two planets, Jupiter and Moon, both are seen in the same house, say for example, in this example, in your chart, Aries being the ascendant, both are seen in Aries sign. However, if one planet is at 2 degrees of Aries and another is at 25 degrees of Aries, say for example Jupiter is at 2 degrees of Aries whereas Moon is at 25 degrees of Aries, a difference of almost 23 degrees, will you still say the yoga is in effect? On the other hand, if Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Aries but Moon is at 3 degrees of Taurus, then will you say there is no Gajkesari Yoga? In fact, this is a stronger Gajkesari Yoga, because the degree difference between Jupiter, which is at 29 degrees, and Moon, which is at 3 degrees, is only 4 degrees differentiation, which means the conjunction is strong. Secondly, because 25 degrees of Aries is taken as the center, 10 degrees of Taurus also lie in the first house, so the Gajkesari Yoga is formed in the first house, and a strong Gajkesari Yoga, though in your chart Jupiter will be seen in the first house, whereas Moon will be seen in the second house. So just the degree difference is enough to tell you whether yoga is in effect. A degree difference will also be able to tell you about aspects. For example, if Saturn is placed in the first house in Aries, and Saturn is placed in the 9th degree of Aries, so in the chart it will be seen that Saturn is in the first house in Aries. Though, because we see the house itself starts from 10 degrees of Aries and the center point is 25 degrees of Aries, and Saturn now is at 9 degrees, which means Saturn is at the right edge of the 12th house and just entering the first house. Will you still take Saturn in the first house? Here the degree difference helps. So for example, if Saturn is at 9 degrees in Aries and there is another planet Mars which is at 9 degrees in Gemini, then here, because the degree difference is very close, Saturn's aspect will be seen. Always take signs for aspects rather than houses alone. Houses complicate, houses confuse. So if a planet is seen in the first house, Saturn is seen in the first house, and another planet is seen in the third house, then technically we can say that Saturn's third aspect is falling on the planet. However, if the degree difference between Saturn and the planet is too high, more than 10 to 15 degrees or more than 10 degrees of difference, then the aspect is weak, irrespective of what houses it is in. If the sign difference between the two is 3 signs, Saturn is in Aries, Mars is in Gemini, or Saturn is in Gemini, Mars is in Leo, 3 sign difference, then the aspect is in effect. However, if the degree difference between them is beyond 5 to 6 degrees, then the aspect is a weak aspect. So take the signs for aspects, don't confuse them with houses, because if there are 3 sign differences and the degree difference is less, then the aspect is there. If planets are seen in the same sign and the degree difference is less, then take the yoga as applicable. If the planets are seen in 2 different signs but the degree difference is still less, still take the yoga as functional. And so this is important because we are taking the ascendant degree as critical degree to know whether yoga is formed or not formed and whether the planet is in which house. The other aspect is also transits, because we know, for example, right now Saturn is transiting over the Capricorn sign. Now in this example, because the ascendant is at 25 degrees of Aries, so the 10th house is Capricorn, but it is at 25 degrees of Capricorn, which means the first half of the 10th house is at 10 degrees of Capricorn to 25 degrees of Capricorn, and the second half is from 25 degrees of Capricorn to 10 degrees of Aquarius, other sign of Saturn. Now when the transit of Saturn happens from Capricorn into Aquarius, for some people Saturn would have moved the 10th house already. If their ascendant is at 15 degrees of Capricorn, and when the Saturn moves from Capricorn into Aquarius, then Saturn would most likely have gone into the 11th house. But for those people, and in this specific example, because the 10th house is also at 25 degrees, so even when the transit of Saturn happens into Aquarius, the first 10 degrees of Aquarius are in the 10th house, so Saturn would still not have transited into the 11th house, and it will take many months before Saturn transits into the 11th house. So if you don't take this degree calculation in effect, you would assume Saturn has moved from my 10th house into my 11th house. So the 11th house, social connection, network connection, those results may come by, though those may come many months later, and hence many times calculating any event closer by in fact days becomes very difficult if you don't take the degrees into account. Many times we want to know that when will this specific event happen. Will it happen in the first week or will it happen in the second week? Will it happen on Monday or Tuesday, in the first 2 days of the week, or the last 3 days of the week? For example, without taking into account the exact degrees of the ascendant and which houses and when the transit is happening, which houses are applicable, you may not be able to calculate the closer, more accurate results about transits moving into different houses. So whether for yogas, whether for transits, whether for aspects, do keep into account the degree difference between the planets and the degree of the ascendant, because the degree of the ascendant tells you which house the planet will be placed in, and the degree difference between the planets will tell you whether yoga is in effect or not, whether an aspect is strong enough aspect or not, are in effect or not, and how much of a result they are affecting in the person's horoscope, in the person's life. If you don't look into the ascendant degree and if you don't use these small techniques for calculation, then you will be lost into tropical, into sidereal, into western, into Sukshma Dasha and all that. So my suggestion to you is that usually trained eye, in spite of whatever horoscope you give them, they will be able to see the degrees and they will be able to calculate and then arrive at a certain results by themselves. However, for some people who don't have a trained eye and who get confused into Bhav Chalit, into Lagna chart, into this Ayamsa, into whether a transit is in effect or not, about Dashas and Antar Dashas, the simplest way to deal with the situation is to look at the ascendant degree and the degree difference between planets and use that for yogas, for doshas, for transits, for aspects and for results, and for seeing whether the planet has moved the house or not, and based on that to come to conclusions, and you will find the right will be relatively easier for you to analyze the results accordingly. So friends, look into your own horoscope, see what is the degree of your ascendant, which degree different planets lie, basis that whether there are any yogas in spite of planets seeming to be in different signs because they are closer to each other in terms of degree difference. Similarly, look at for aspects. Similarly, look for when exactly a transit is happening, basis which house it is moved in, rather than using only sign differentiation. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me with the link given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend Astrology and Guide signing off. Ciao.